My beautiful daughter, are you currently in a waiting season? Have you asked the Lord for godly partnership or a godly marriage and you find yourself still waiting on God's timing? If so, then you are at the right place at the right time. Welcome back to my channel, sis. Welcome back. My name is Samara Bharath and I'm your host here at Healed Woman. Shameless plug. Here on this channel, we are a sisterhood, a growing community of women who are on fire for two things. First, we're on fire to become women of extraordinary faith through learning more about Christ and walking our faith out every day. And two, we are women dedicated to overcoming toxic mindsets and abusive relationships through Christ-centered recovery. My dear, if you are new here, click subscribe immediately because you know you want to be a part of this growing, thriving ministry. And if you're an OG subscriber, I love you, sis. Come on in the room, tag a friend, and let's get right into why the Lord could be making you wait for a relationship. My dear, if no one's ever told you that singlehood is your best season to focus on yourself, to be selfish, to just be completely about God and about your Father's business, I'm gonna tell you right now, okay, my beautiful sister, your singlehood is the single best time to focus on yourself, to grow, to discover your purpose, to discover your passions, what the Lord created you to be, who He's called you to be. It's the perfect time to allow Him to mold you into everything He's called you to be, so that when He gives you the green light and says, my daughter, I have someone for you, they're ready for you, and I know you're ready for them. When you come together, it will be magical, okay, my dear? But if you are rushing or stepping outside of God's timing, you can and will expose yourself to a counterfeit, my dear. That's just how things work in the spirit, unfortunately. If you step outside of God's timing, you are more likely, if not 100% likely, to form or to create an Ishmael in terms of the Abraham and Sarah promise. You are more likely to create an Ishmael versus waiting on your Isaac, my dear, okay? So there are so many reasons why the Lord could be making you wait, but today we're going to be breaking down about 3 signs or 3 reasons why the Lord could be making you wait for His timing, on His pace, and for the man God has for you. Before we dive into the list, I want to make a few points clear, okay? There is a reason, a divine reason for this divine delay, my dear, okay? So I'm speaking to women who have specifically asked the Lord, prayed to the Lord, petitioned, on their own behalf for a spiritual leader, for a husband, okay? For a godly relationship, for a God-ordained relationship. Because there are 2 types of marriages on this earth. There are marriages that humans put together, and then there are marriages that God orchestrates, okay, my dear? And here at Healed Woman, we are absolutely advocating for the latter, okay? We only believe in God-ordained marriages. We do not wish, divorce or long-term dissatisfaction or discontentment for women or men as well, people who get into marriages on their behalf, on their own understanding, because they desire it and move out of God's timing, okay, my dear? So the reason why we have sort of shifted to talk about this subject today and moving forward, the topic of marriage, is because I'd be remiss if I didn't start talking about your desires for a relationship. They're healthy. The Lord put those desires on the inside of you for a reason, my dear, okay? All good things come from above. All good gifts, spiritual gifts, good things, blessings come from above. Marriage is a blessing, okay? Relationships are blessings. They can be if they are God-honoring and if the Lord is the one orchestrating, the union of those 2 people, or orchestrating a friendship where He's behind, the union of 2 people, not necessarily in a marital covenant. I've been listening very closely to a lot of the prophetic marriage messages and kingdom spouse messages and all of the messages about this being the year of the bride, 2022 being the year of the bride. And I'm thinking this might be a little bit out of my scope right now, but it doesn't mean that, healed women don't want to hear about it. Okay. So here at Healed Women, we will absolutely be addressing some of the trending topics, I would say, related to prophetic marriages and preparation. Okay, we're coming from a place of preparing to be women, godly women, God's women, healed women who are ready to step into a marriage covenant, who understand the importance of marriage covenant, and who are ready to fulfill their role as queen, helpmeet, wife, okay, rib to His side, okay, who are ready to step into that beautiful covenant and really fulfill their role, and who are ready to submit to a godly leader, a man after God's own heart, okay, who are ready to understand what it means to bring 2 people together in a godly union and fulfill the purpose on their life. Notice how I didn't say it has anything to do with love, romance, date night, sex, okay? Marriage, godly marriage, a union that God brings together, is really more about purpose and forwarding the king's agenda, forwarding the kingdom agenda here on earth than it really is about the two people, okay? In the process, you will be sharpened like iron sharpens iron, okay? In the process, you will be pruned and you will learn more about this person than you ever thought possible. And you will serve them, as your husband, and he will love you as his wife. And that's really to reflect the relationship that God has with his church, and to help refine you as a human being. And yes, there are some perks along the way, okay? Physical and emotional intimacy, friendship and partnership, and financial stability. Of course, in the case of women who the Lord has called to, be provided for by these men. But love is not the ultimate goal of marriage, my dear, which is why the Lord may make you wait. So we're going to dive into some of the reasons why the Lord may be saying, not in this season, my dear, okay? First reason, if you do not know your purpose, or if you are not walking in your purpose, the Lord may be telling you, sis, it's not, or my daughter, it is not the right time for marriage. I am not ready to partner you with someone, to put you in purposeful partnership, because you don't even know what you're here to do. Before we can dive in and start talking about purpose partners, my dear, let's first break down what purpose means. Purpose is this really great, vast word that can encompass a lot of things, but in the kingdom of heaven, okay, purpose is the essential reason why you were created, okay? It's the fundamental reason why God saw a problem in the earth and thought, this person can be the solution. Okay, I was going to say my name. So just for example, the Lord saw a problem and said, a Samara can solve that problem. Okay, Samara is the solution to this specific problem. I will create her. I will bring her forth, from two parents who will love her and guide her and bring her up in the way that she should go. And when I am done pruning her and working on her, I will send her out into the world and she will solve that specific problem. Okay, you notice there's a process to purpose. Okay, yes, you may have a problem attached to your existence that the Lord is like, you're going to solve this. You're going to be the reason why. Okay, you're going to be the reason why I get glory in this situation because of your obedience to solving this problem that's attached to your purpose, to your existence. Okay, in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verses 10, it said, I have seen the God-given task for which the sons of men are to be occupied, my dear. That is the literal verse that I think defines purpose. Okay, we do have God-given tasks on this earth to fulfill, to answer, to step into. We have roles we need to step into and tasks we need to complete. And the Lord is absolutely expecting that we are going to show up as sons and daughters of the King and step into those roles and fulfill those assignments, my dear. So until you know what your purpose is and what you were created to do and how you can really work your purpose and work in your spiritual gifts that he's giving you into your purpose, okay, that's something we've talked about, using your spiritual gifts as your power in this earth, okay, my dear, your gifts will make room for you until you learn how you can master your spiritual gifts and use them in your purpose and start impacting people's lives as the daughter of the Most High that you are. You are not ready for a purpose partner, my dear. Hate to break it to you, but that is the cold hard truth, okay? And this is a message from the Lord, okay? I'm not out here telling people like you're not ready for a relationship because you don't know why you're here. Like, yes, it logically makes sense, but a lot of people don't realize until they discover their purpose, you won't even know what to look for in a purpose partner. Does that make sense? So when I say purpose partner, that's sort of another name for a godly spouse, an equally yoked spouse that you may be praying for or hoping for, waiting for, preparing for. Okay, so purpose partner, godly union, purposeful marriage, these are all kind of interchangeable terms to describe the man God has for you and the purpose attached to both of you all's lives that you will complete together, okay? Here at Healed Woman, we absolutely believe that the Lord has separate purposes for people, okay? You have your individual purpose, and then you have the assignment that he has two people to come together and work on, bring forth in this earth. And no, it's not just it's not just about kids, I would say, or your purpose is not limited to being a mother or just being a wife, okay? There may be an actual assignment that the Lord has the two of you doing, whether that's evangelizing together, okay? Spreading the gospel, being his support system if he's called to be a leader or hold an office in a church organization, or if you are called to serve the world, okay, he may be a business leader and want you to build a business with him that's going to impact the world, okay? So there's many things that you can be called to as a couple. There's many things that you can do individually to prepare yourself for when you come together in that beautiful union. But right now, until you know your purpose, my dear, the Lord cannot pair you with your purpose partner. for many reasons, so many more that we could talk about today. But for now, simply because you have no idea what your purpose is, you have no idea how you can be a helpmeet to your future purpose partner. Just as simple as that, okay, my dear? So until you really discover, what am I here for? What has the Lord told me to do that maybe I'm not acting on in this season? Is there a gift or a talent that I have overlooked that I really should be stewarding over to make sure that I'm using the talents and the gifts God has given me? Okay, these are all great questions to ask yourself when thinking about your purpose and allowing the Lord to develop those gifts and those talents and that passion in you to be able to serve his people and forward the agenda, my dear, the kingdom agenda. That's ultimately what we are here to do. That's our purpose, forwarding the kingdom agenda, okay? So you may be wondering, well, how can I discover my purpose? And we're not doing this in a rushed way so that we can get to the purpose partner, okay, my dear? We are taking time. We are spending time with the Holy Spirit, allowing him to abide in us and we abide in him. John chapter 15, verses 1-9. Come on, sis, you know this. Abiding, spending time in the Spirit, getting to know him, allowing the Holy Spirit to download things into our spirit and let us know this is what I have for you, okay? He's our constant present helper. He will let you know this is the way you should go, this is what you should be doing, this is what I want you to pay attention to because it's something related to, assignment down the road, okay, my dear? He's always speaking to us. We just have to be able to discern his voice and obey when he says go, do, step out, move, okay, go back to school, work on this, take a class, okay? He's always telling us what we should be doing, and he expects us to keep asking, seeking, and knocking, okay? Ask and it will be given unto you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you, my dear. You've got to ask, seek, and knock when it comes to your purpose. You may have passions, but is it tied to your purpose in this season, okay, my dear? So how can two walk together unless they agree? Okay, some of you are walking with people who are not attached to your destiny, who have nothing to do with your future, really should be in the past, okay, my dear, who will not help you fulfill your purpose here on earth. Those people cannot understand the high level assignment attached to your name, okay? As a chosen one, as a daughter of the Most High, we are called and set apart to a special purpose. You cannot walk with anyone on this earth, with any and everyone on this earth, my dear. You're called to so much more, okay? So there's a reason for this divine delay when the Lord is saying, my dear, I really need you to focus on your purpose in this season and let me develop you and the man God has for you. And when the time is right, I will bring you together in the most beautiful way, okay, my dear? Next on our list, why the Lord could be making you wait, God is still healing you from your past wounds, okay? It's not an ideal time to be in a relationship. We are no stranger to healing here at Healed Woman, okay? If you more so check out my healing content, my Healed Woman healing content on Fridays, I have been posting a little bit more about healing on Fridays, but on Tuesdays, we're about to revolutionize the game, my dear, because as we start stepping into talking about marriages and how to prepare yourself, allow the Lord to prepare you and heal you, okay? Healing is a necessary, imperative, essential portion of preparation for marriage. It is not desirable. It is so unhealthy. It is not ideal to enter into a relationship as the unhealed version of yourself. That's powerful. So I'm gonna let that sink in for a little bit. Okay. It is not ideal. It is not acceptable. It is not desirable to enter into a relationship as the unhealed version of yourself, my dear. It is so dangerous because you are more than likely to attract a counterfeit, okay? As a daughter of the Most High, we don't have time. We don't have time for the enemy's lies and counterfeits. We are waiting on the man God has for us, okay? And if you're truly waiting, you know that it's a season of preparation, okay? Getting in position, being pruned. It's not passive, it's active. Actively healing, actively rewiring your mind, rewiring your understanding, your definition of love, of service, okay, of humility, fruits of the Spirit. There's so much to learn in this season, my dear, and there's also a lot to let go. You've got to release, you've got to let go, you've got to let the Lord heal those wounds from your past, okay? Help you forget the nightmares that keep you up at night, okay? Help you address who hurt me in my past, and how can I get over that so that I can move into all that the Lord has for me in my future. Entering a relationship as the unhealed version of yourself, it is so dangerous, okay? Healing is not a DIY, type of journey. Healing is absolutely done in the Spirit, okay? You have to allow the Holy Spirit to come in, gut your heart, not just change it. He's going to gut it. Okay. He's going to gut your heart, take out all the icky, your stone cold heart. He's going to melt your stone cold heart. Or if your heart is just full of so much muck from past relationships that left a lot of debris and chaos in their wake, the Lord's going to gut that out, and he's going to renew your heart, renew your mind, and restore your soul. But you have to let him do that, sis. Okay. You have to let him do that before you get into a relationship, not after, not during. Okay. Depending on the nature of your covenant, maybe that's something he may be working on consistently in your marriage, in your relationship. But it is much more beneficial to let the Lord heal you before the covenant, okay? Before the covenant of marriage, because it will make for a much healthier environment in your marriage. Much healthier environment in your marriage if the two of you come healed, come whole, come unbroken, okay? Not traumatized from the past. Not saying that you won't remember things that happened to you before, but you won't be jaded. You won't be bitter, okay? You won't be envious, jealous, and just deceitful and easily hurt, okay? You won't be so caught up, so easily triggered from your past that you are now bringing this unnecessary drama into your current relationship, okay? If you want your relationship to be a blessing, okay, you've got to come as the healed version of yourself, my dear. So how do we do that? Sis, I have so many videos on how to get started on healing. You should definitely check those out, okay? So important. You can mess around and attract broken, unhealed people, okay, in your rush or in your impatience to get into a relationship or try to, hurry up and get yourself married. You can mess around and attach yourself to a counterfeit, and we do not want that as daughters of the Most High. As women in general, we do not desire to be with people who are not for us, okay, who only desire to destroy us, to tear us down, not build us up. Remember the biblical definition of love rejoices in truth. It does not tear down, it builds up, okay? So many things to learn in this season as it relates to love, to marriage, to service, to fruits of the Spirit, and all of those will aid in your healing journey. I can assure you, okay, my dear? This is the time, this delay before God introduces you to your purpose partner is where it's perfect timing between you and God. It's where he desires to rewire your heart, my dear, transform your mind, change your appetite, develop fruits of the Spirit in you, learn to abide in you and you in him, okay? Allowing him to continue to develop and mature your character. And it's not a rushed process, okay? He's not going to be like, in 6 months, I'm going to take you from broken to healed, and then you'll be ready for marriage. It doesn't work that way, my dear. Healing is a process, and it's going to take as long as God decides and as long as you take to allow the Lord to renew your heart, okay? You've got to participate in this process, my dear, okay? So focus on yourself, your singlehood. Remember, the best time to focus on yourself, focus on developing yourself, maturing, evolving, growing, okay? Take a class, do something new, okay? Invest some time in yourself and your healing, volunteer, serve, get busy, okay? Not to distract yourself, but to keep yourself busy from thinking about, maybe things that happened in your past, or keep yourself out of a dangerous way. Focus on yourself, focus on God, be about your Father's business. And before you know it, you will absolutely be a beautiful, healed version of yourself, pouring out to others because you are so full from the Holy Spirit pouring into you. So our third and final sign that the Lord could be making you wait in this season, he is still preparing you before positioning you, my dear. This is a sign very near and dear to my heart, and I'll tell you why now. I was going to say briefly, but it's not so brief. I'll tell you why now. I am a woman who desires godly marriage. Obviously, this is something I've been praying for and I have been warring for in the Spirit. And the Lord showed me all three of these signs in this order. And yes, what was the first sign? I didn't know my purpose for a while, and now I'm walking in my purpose. I wasn't the healed version of myself, and now I am. Shameless plug for healed women, okay? And this third sign is where I currently am, where the Lord is saying, I'm still preparing you. Like, yes, you're healed. Yes, you're walking in purpose, but there's still preparation. There's still things to do in this season. So I refer you to the strong women of faith in the Bible, whom we aspire to emulate, we aspire to become, okay? We are looking at examples, real life examples from the Bible, women of faith who went through probably the fiercest pruning process of their life, okay? On the road to their destiny, my dear, okay? If you desire a purposeful union, my dear, you must know that there is always a process to purpose. It's not going to happen overnight. Remember, I said that there's no timeline on healing a broken heart. It's going to take as long as it needs to get you from point A to point B, from unhealed and broken to beautifully healed and restored. Okay, my dear? So let's look at some of the major female players in the Bible. Esther, our beautiful Esther in the book of Esther. She had a year-long preparation, okay? A year-long preparation. We are blessed to see how long it took for her to become, Hadassah, on her road from Hadassah to Queen Esther, okay, to receiving the title of Queen Esther. And honestly, if you think about it, she had a whole year of preparation for one night with the king. She had one night to impress him, to show him everything she had learned and, taken in from that year of preparation. Do you know how much pressure that is? Okay. Not saying the Lord is going to give you one night to impress your king, but let's think about it. The Lord is taking you through this process because it's only going to take one night for your king to be able to recognize you after that whole year of preparation. Okay, my dear? It is so important that you know there's a process, okay? She went through frankincense and myrrh baths, okay? They were probably teaching them how to walk, how to talk, how to sing, how to dance, how to please the king, okay? If you know what I'm talking about. They were taught so many things. And in this season, the Lord is saying, I need to teach you some things, my daughter. You desire to be a queen. You already are. But in order to be a good match, a good helpmeet, okay, not just the title of wife, but the role of helpmeet, the Lord has to do some pruning in you, my dear, okay? He has got to teach you what it takes, what's required of you as a queen, okay? Let's look at our beautiful Ruth in the book of Ruth. Ruth was literally left fatherless, okay? Well, father-in-law-less. She lost her father-in-law, she lost her husband, so she lost basically any opportunity for provision in her time, okay? She was a foreigner. She followed her mother-in-law to a foreign land and began working. She began gleaning. The Lord literally stripped her of everything down to her identity. Okay, she was no longer a Moabitess in the land of Moab. I hope that's a land in the place of Moab. Okay, she was a foreigner working, low-level positions to just make two ends meet. And the Lord looked favorably upon her, okay, through her preparation season of working faithfully, serving God faithfully. Remember, she said, wherever you go, I will go. Your Lord is my Lord. Okay, she wasn't always a believer, but when she realized this is my life now, I just have to accept this as my path, the Lord looked down on her favorably and said, my daughter, I have someone for you, but I've got to prepare you. He's going to elevate you because of his position, but I'm going to start you here down low and elevate you in the process. Okay, the Lord absolutely has a beautiful elevation process for you right now. Even if your circumstances don't reflect where the Lord has promised he's going to take you, I can assure you it's coming, my dear. It's coming. It is absolutely coming, okay? Ruth and Esther and all the beautiful women in the Bible who came out, having godly husbands, not husbands who cheated on them or stepped outside their marriage or any of the other crazy stories that the Bible has about women. These women of faith, their faith, okay, and God's favor in their life elevated them after a season of preparation, okay? So are you down? Are you down for the preparation season, okay? Are you asking and believing the Lord for this marriage that you have prayed for, but are you also open to the preparation, the pruning season, my dear, okay? Because the elevation is not going to come without preparation and separation, okay? There's always going to be a season where you are separated, you are prepared, you are put in position, and then you will be elevated. You will be partnered with the man God has for you, with your purpose partner, and then you two will be elevated into the next assignment he has for you, okay, my dear? So we talked about gleaning, we talked about preparations, we talked about the Lord taking women from low levels into high ranking levels of authority based on their faith and their obedience and their ability to be faithful over little. He made them a ruler over much, my dear. So the Lord in this season is really saying, can you obey? Can you let me work on you? Can you allow me to manifest this promise that you asked me for and the desire I've given to you? But there's always a time gap. There's always a God gap between the promise and the manifestation of that promise, my dear, okay? Are you willing to wait? Are you willing to serve? Are you willing to work? Are you willing to be humbled in this season to receive the promise that God has given you about marriage, okay, my dear? We are in a season where you can't judge, things on appearance. You have to just trust the Spirit, okay? So if you've asked for a godly marriage and you believe the desire is healthy, it's normal, it's natural, and the Lord placed it on the side of your heart, That man is coming, okay? You will be presented to that man, but only after you've been prepared and put in position to meet him, okay, my beautiful daughter? So do not knock this single season. Embrace it. It's the time to work on yourself. It's the time to allow God to work on you, okay, my dear? It's a gift. Singleness is a gift, okay? This is your time. This is your time with God. This is your time to be about the Father's business. And when you're about the Father's business, he will let a man step in, and you two will be about the Father's business together. Okay, my beautiful daughter. So with that, I leave my 3 signs that I'm currently walking out, and I definitely, expect you all to be going through as well, because these are very common signs in the life of a believer, especially women who desire marriage and are currently being prepared for it. So with that, I'm always praying for you. I pray these signs were helpful. Do let me know in the comments down below. Are you waiting on a godly marriage, and are you being prepared in any of these ways? Or in another way, let me know if there's another sign that you've recognized in your life that the Lord is telling you, I'm preparing you, I'm getting you ready for this marriage, but there's a delay, there's a season of preparation in the meantime, okay? Always praying for you. And with that, I will see you in my next video, my beautiful sister. So stay blessed.